We got a great guest for tonight. One of the president's sons, the executive VP of the Trump Organization, Eric Trump. Eric, thank you for joining us tonight.
It's great to be on, Chris.
Eric, only thing that matters to me is to say, man, I'm so sorry for what you guys had to deal with on Saturday. How are you guys doing? How did you handle it as a family? How confident are you that he'll be safe from now on?
Yeah. I can't answer the last one because I'm not. I mean, based on the Secret Service director's answers that, she couldn't put snipers up on the roof because of the massive slope when you have a roof that's like this, Chris. I'm not sure if I can answer that question, but listen, we're doing well. He's doing well. He's the toughest guy I've ever met in my life. I was watching my two young children, 6 years old, 4 years old, and we pretty much watched, my father get assassinated, their grandfather get assassinated. He stood up, he had blood running down the side of his face. That's not a moment I'll ever forget. Exactly 48 hours later, I was the delegate from the state of Florida that cast a deciding ballot that made him the Republican nominee for president of the United States. And so you have these lows in life, and then you have these highs in life, and we certainly felt all of those in a 24-hour period of time. But, Chris, the love of this room is tremendous, and I'm sure you're seeing it. I'm sure you're reporting on it. But, these are people that love this country. They love our nation. They love our flag. They're great people. They're in here dancing, waving the American flags, and having a wonderful time. And when he came out that night, it was tears across the room. He realized he could have been dead. Had he not moved his face 1 inch, by divine intervention, he was even doing that slide at that point. Normally he does at the end of the speeches. He would have been dead right now. You would have had a former president and very likely a future president get executed, shot in the head on national TV that was being broadcast by you guys and, frankly, all around the world. And we better be better than that as Americans. We better be better than that as Americans. We deserve more out of leadership. We deserve more out of protection. We deserve more out of a lot of things, but that can't happen. It just can't happen.
Well, it did. The question is why, how you stop it, and how you get us to a better place, because who knows if the guy did it because of what he heard from or about your father. It doesn't really matter to me. You got to figure out how the security broke down. I'm with you on that 100%, but I don't care about the guy's motivations. I just agree with you. We have to be better. Give me a personal read, if you don't mind, Eric, what you want the audience to understand about how your father processed what happened to him and what he communicated to your kids about what they saw and how it affected him.
Yeah, well, he called me from the hospital. I think that was the first phone call that he made, and obviously let me know he was okay. And it was a kick to the stomach, just to say the least, when you're seeing that. I mean, Chris, you didn't know. Obviously, you saw blood coming out of his face, but you heard multiple shots. You didn't know if he took shots to the torso. You didn't know where else he was hit. You didn't know if any of those agents were hit. And the girl that was just on the screen, and I've been defending her relentlessly. She's one of the finest agents you'll ever meet. She was with me for a 3-year period of time. She is the greatest, the best. I would do anything for her, and she would have taken a bullet for my father, and every agent on that stage would have taken a bullet for my father. And it breaks my heart that they arrived with him 15 minutes before the rally, and they're put in the position that they were put in. So I am in total defense of those incredible people on the screen right now because they're the best of the best, where I am in total, we must find out what happened on that perimeter, though. I mean, we just have to. But listen, he was strong. He got off that stage, and he said, fight, fight, fight. And you've covered it for years. You and I have known each other for years. This has been his life for the last 8 years. This has been my life. I've been subpoenaed 110 times. They've impeached him. They've tried to divide our family. They've gone after him. They wanted to bankrupt him. They've thrown phony charge after phony charge on him. You guys know a lot about those. Like, I mean, every way that they could use politics to attack a family, they weaponized the system. And he's been dealing with this. And I went on a show, and I'm not proud of this, Chris, but I went on a show a month ago, and I said, I'm fearful that they'll try and kill him. And I'm not a tinfoil hat wearing guy. I think you know that about me. I'm not that guy. And then we ended up where we were on Saturday evening, and it's scary as hell. But I think it does change your outlook on life. I do think it changes your message. When you have a brush with death like that, I think you probably realize what's important in life and what's not. What battles you want to pick and what you don't, what you want your legacy to be. And I definitely think that had input on the speech that he's going to give tomorrow night, literally right after I speak.
Well, listen, I just, I wanted to leave you guys alone in the moment to process, but, politics fades fast when it gets to this type of level of violence, level of fear. I remember when it was my father and when it was my brother, and they would even have threats, how shaking that would be to the family. So you get nothing but my heart.
That's right.
And I wish the best for the family with this. And I'm very surprised how fast he came back. I mean, forget about in that moment, how brave he was, and that's the only way to see it. But the resilience is impressive. The question is what he does with it. Will you help me? Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy when I say this. DJT 100. What Jared, your brother-in-law, was going to undertake with the first administration, and obviously everything got sidetracked because he was under attack almost immediately. Donald John Trump, 100% popularity to get the majority, a consensus in this country believing in their president. Is there a chance of a return to that if he is reelected?
Yeah. I think we're getting there, Chris, and I think we're getting there awfully quickly. I mean, I think debate helped in a big way, but listen, nothing's working well in this country right now. You know that. This country has a big, massive hole in the roof, and nothing's being fixed. I mean, our inflation's crazy. Our prices on everything are crazy. It's unaffordable for people to live. I mean, immigration is nuts. I personally have 4 friends who have lost children to fentanyl, and they're not doing a damn thing about that problem. 300,000 kids have died to fentanyl, being sent from China, smuggled by cartels over the southern border, and the administration doesn't do a damn thing about it. We have wars breaking out all over the world. Israel is under attack. Our family structure is under attack. Cities are dirty and crime-ridden. The bail reforms have not worked. They've only caused more and more problems. And people want to focus on those problems, and they want a leader that's going to fix them. On this side of the equation, they're focused on whether or not men my height should swim in women's sports and all these issues that do not matter to the American people. They want a safe nation. They want a great, strong, economically strong nation. They want their kids to be safe. They want to be able to go to Disney World. They want to be able to take a vacation. They want government to stay out of their lives. They don't want our children indoctrinated in the schools. That's what people in this country want. And honestly, the last 3 years has been a disaster. We're being laughed at all around the world, and I think people want strength again. They might not want that mean tweet, but they do want strength, Chris, and that's what Donald Trump had. Right. He was the hardest worker that's ever been in office, and he fought for the United States of America.
But as you know, your father and I grew up in the same place, and it was all ethnics trying to fight their way up. And it was about sweet strength. What Americans fear is harshness, right? Because that's not us. It's head and heart. Do you believe that the Donald John Trump that America hears tomorrow night is going to be different than the one they've heard in the past?
I think you're going to hear an amazing Trump. I think you're going to hear a guy who's tough as hell, because that's who he is. And you'll never take the fighter out of the fighter. Listen, your father was a great fighter. He always was, right? He was a fighter. He had that in him. Frankly, you guys do too, and your brother does as well. You can't necessarily take the fighter out of the fighter, but Chris, America needs a fighter, right? Like, America desperately needs a fighter to solve the problems. I know a lot of nice people. My grandmother's the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life. She'd be the worst president of the United States. You don't want that equation. You want a guy who's a fighter. You want a guy who can go toe-to-toe with, there's savages around the world, and they do not have America's best interests at heart. And you better get tough. And if we're not tough, we're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a nation. We certainly won't be the superpower that we are right now. And I think that's why people love Trump, and I think that's why you have this. And one last thing, I don't want to be long-winded, but these people also realize that Donald Trump is the one person that did not need this job. He could have lived in Mar-a-Lago with his grandkids, played golf every day, had a great life, billionaire lifestyle, flying around on a great plane, hotels all over the world. He's getting shot at. He's getting dragged through every courthouse for sham nonsense. You've been the first one to say that so many of those cases are BS. They've attacked him ruthlessly. He does not need to live this life, but he loves America and he wants to fix this country. Believe me, the last thing I need to do is being at this convention. I've got plenty of other things in my work life I could do other than being here. But I love this country, and so does Don, and so does my wife. And we do anything to fight for this nation. And I think that's why you have the level of love that you do behind me. You've never seen a political movement like this before, and it's because it's based on genuine love versus just political nonsense and political rhetoric. It's why no one's ever duplicated what you're seeing behind me.
The more focus there is on love, the more there is on what you can get done together. The one thing that the rest of the world doesn't envy about us right now is the state of our politics. So the sooner that changes, the better, and that's a form of strength in and of itself. We'll be watching. Your father's always invited here to make the case. All of you are. But again, on a personal note, this was a really, really scary thing to watch, let alone to live through, with it being your father, your grandfather. So really, all the best to the family in terms of having to deal with that hardship.
Thank you, my friend.
Now we'll go forward, and my job is to test power. You and your father are always welcome here to make the case, and we'll see what your brother has to say tonight. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.